Panda's Adventure.
His fast gun for hire heeds the calling wind.
This is High Noon and welcome! Are you prepared to draw? I hope so! And I don't mean any of that liver-lizzied, gun-slinging stuff. And I don't mean any of that artist stuff. I'm here to do that. Yous all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and frolic, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody today? Hey, Massive Panda, what's going on? Well, we're working on Canadian Shield 3 today, page 2. Um, and this is just because I've started page 1. It needs a bit to go. But I've been recording my progress as I go along on it. So that's going to come out as a regular video and then probably a short a few days after that. As for the fan art piece, I haven't done much. Well, I haven't done anything else on it yet. I might try and do some more on that tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just try and finish it up next week. Well, then again, I'll have a new character to work on, so um, that's hard to say what I'm gonna do for that exactly. Um, but I'll probably try and work on it off air at some point. Right now, I've been really trying to finish up Canadian Shield 1 Remastered. I am on the last page for that. So hopefully that answers your question. Um, so Canadian Shield 2 introduces actually a new character. Um, or I should say 3, not 2. Sorry, my bad. It introduces John Sims. He is a detective for the police service in not Geraldton, I think it is, where Canadian Shield ended up in the end of issue 2. Although I don't think yet we have anything that tells us that, so I might have to make sure people know where he is. Let's see. I can definitely check on that here. Script number. Okay, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Passes till done. Oh yeah, Geraldton, a town, city, village called Geraldton, Ontario. Although there's not a power plant in that city, we're making one in that city for. So, and issue 3, he goes from Geraldton to Wawa while battling Absorb. Well, the guy's not going to be called Absorb yet. This is sort of throwing a bit of his origin story in this issue. So, hey, Devil Flyer, how are you? Okay, so I do believe we have the couch here because we have Canadian Shield sitting on it, leaning forward a little bit, and then you have the coffee table, and then I guess standing just in front of the coffee table is John Sims. Now, here's a look at the first page. The first panel, as we see um, the living room of John Sims. Canadian Shield's been offered a place to stay for a couple days, and well, probably a little bit more than a couple days, since I'm not sure how my timing is going to work exactly from issue to issue. Um, and John Sims fed him because he helped with the whole Toxico thing. And although in the first panel you don't see Canadian Shield or John Sims, they will be there. Um, I'm slowly putting everybody in. Like, there's the outline of Canadian Shield, and then there's the outline of John Sims. So that's a look at page 1, and then of course showing a couple more different angles from there, and then we're into page 2. So if any other questions or whatever, or anybody feels like hopping on through the Discord, feel free to do so. We can talk about whatever. I don't know. Now, did I? Yeah, I drew that freehand. I didn't use anything. So I just, of course, I've staged things out how I want things basically per panel. Make this a little bigger. And if we look at the couch here, it's got a back. Let's see, I don't want to get Canadian Shield out of there. Okay, I'm just looking at it because I want to. So how are you doing today, Devil Flyer and Massive Panda? So this is the wall, obviously, behind thing that you're seeing down. So we want this. Uh, so that's the couch from sort of looking down on it, and you see the bit of the wall behind. So that's coming along. Um, Now, I think this might be a little too close, this line here, for Canadian Shield, but then again, uh, and everybody can hit that like and share this out too. It would be very much appreciated. Let people know we're here, what we're doing. Doing well, just trying to use my last weekday off work to get more comic stuff done. I'm not looking forward to going back to work next week. Yeah, I can get you there. Tonight I'm going to be on what's his name? Mike Walter's thing, the mic stand, we'll be going over some MGL comics, what will become eventually known as Archie comics, but it's before Archie has been conceived of. Well, I'm pretty sure before Archie's been conceived of, but at least he hasn't been in the comic books at this point. So this coffee table is clear on the top, well, except for the rim stuff here. And this is, if I don't think this is good enough, this again is another layer. I'm going to be working on this, building up layer by layer to get everything good, perfect, however you want to say it. Okay, so over here, I'm thinking this coffee. Yeah, it's thin. So we have the pictures that we need here for things. Like this is what this is based on, this coffee table here. Although it's not clear here, well, I could make it the same as here, not clear. Um, but I think I am going to make it. No, it'd probably be easier if it's not clear. But so let me move this picture over so I can look at it, yet at the same time. And you got things might be a little distorted for you guys too because I gotta get myself another monitor or something because, well, to see the chat. As a can be difficult. Oh, that's one of those low coffee tables that you can put your feet up on. Yeah, I guess so. Um, I'm starting. Well, I went and got a lot of reference for this. What I wanted. I actually found a house. I've got lots of pictures for the Canadian Shield 3, this whole house that this is in. It was like it was on like some site for somebody selling their house in the area or whatever. And it's like, okay, or it's just like a one-story house, whatever I thought it would be, the house or the place that John Sim lives. I thought this had the feel of what I would think John Sims, and who's the officer, the detective that Shield is staying with. Here, let's see if I can find some more of these pictures to show you guys. So as you can see, that's the kitchen in the place. So as you can see, here is the entranceway to the place, and I did this so I have a lot of different angles. There. We're gonna see the shield go from they're gonna be in here, and then they're gonna go into here, and then you're gonna start to see the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom for different angles. See different things. Another angle. Of course, I'm, this is the basics. I'm doing this, I'm going to gear it towards, what's his name? Obviously, John Sims a little bit. Like, I haven't included this coffee table, this end table here, or, well, maybe this one I have, but the other one I haven't. Some more of the kitchen. I didn't know what scenes I was going to use. And John Sims is going to, like I said, um, you may see him or you may not in future issues, but Canadian Shield is going to be talking to him via phone fair bit. And eventually, John Sims is actually going to move to Hamilton where the Canadian Shield is. That's, some tidbit giveaways. For future information. Not that you'll necessarily remember by the time that that stuff comes out, but hey, you're here. You're here. You get the extras, tidbits of information. Yeah, it's a good idea to have photo of an entire house if it's an environment that you have to refer to several times in a comic. Yeah, like I've done that for Jason Post's house. I've done that for uh, what's her name's house? Snowdrift's Christy North's. Because I figure these are places that are going to see. I've done it. Gotten it for the bike shop that he works at. I've gotten it for his mom's house too. Jason Post said this. Who will be the flame? And like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to use this stuff beyond this because, like I said, he might be on the phone. So you could technically throw to a shot of John Sims in his apartment or somewhere else on a cell phone or his home phone. He'll have both, and the number is given to him by Canadian or he gives like a business card with the numbers on or something with the numbers on. Or he's been given it. I forget which. I'm not sure whether you see it happen or not. Okay, so I think we got the couch and that up the layer that it is. So because that was the original couch and coffee table layer, and we now have it looking like that. So that I would say looks a lot better. So we can now disregard this layer 2. We can take it out. And now we'll put in Canadian Shield layer here. We'll mute part of it. And it with issue or number one here, page one, we see that the Canadian Shield is on the couch. He's pretty much full thing. He's got the mask off, which is on the coffee table, which we will have to put on the table. I didn't do that. And then, of course, he's got the cape off, and it's a little bit further down here, laying on the arm, the side of the couch. So, and then we got like the Canadian Shield taking up almost two cushions, or pretty much two cushions. So we're gonna have him moved over a little bit for whatever reason. I might even end up moving him over here a little bit because I want him more in frame here. As you see, I've got him a little bit more in frame. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I've seen the link for today's show, and actually, that's something I got to do later. I got to read through the stories. I know I'm gonna love reading the Shield one and the Comet. I actually read when DC did the imprint of Impact Comics. I think it was Impact. I remember reading the Shield for that. Oh, we're lucky to live in the internet and Google Images. Imagine how awkward it must have been people back in the day to ask people to let you know to let you take into photos of interior restaurants. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that happened a lot. Not to mention how awkward it must have been to get women to pose for you on camera so you could draw the female figure. So, uh, catch you later then, Mike. Have a great day. Now this is going to be the hard part, drawing. Canadian Shield here. I want to get the body in first. I'm going to worry about the costume a little later. Putting it on because I think the costume is going to be the hardest part, or the body. Is going to be the hardest part posing it here. I should actually have. Oh, I'm probably going to have the gloves off too. So it's just going to be all white to here, and then you're going to see his hand. I think that would be a good thing to do too. So now we just want What's going on in this panel, anyways? It might be nice to have the script to look at every so often, right? Canadian Shield. Okay, so we're on panel 2. Okay, so how would I... yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I think I want his thumb up here like this, and then his fingers out like this. So how close are you to completing your next book, Massive? Yeah, the script as well as thumbnails. Do you work from thumbnail storyboards? Not usually. This here is my thumbnails. If you will, I went through the script page by page and figured out what I wanted pretty much for each page. Like here, I'll bring this over here, and I know you can't really see this well. I'll bring this up. So there's page 1, page 2. There's the cover. So I went through, looked at my script, I figured out how many panels were on. I made the panels, and then I got that all done. And then I went through and, okay, what's happening or what's saying in each panel, and then from panel to panel, it's like, okay, how am I changing the background? How are they moving through the environment here? So this is sort of my thumbnails, my storyboard. And then, of course, just and it's been a while since I did this too, so referring back to the script, I think is necessary. And of course, you see this panel here. This is, of course, him telling a little bit of his story, which you see in Canadian Shield 1. Now you guys may get to see all of these, or you may not done, because, like I said, after I get done Canadian Shield number 1 remastered, I'm going to be working on this off screen. Yeah, it's good to have that stuff, man. There's so much goes into making a comic. I'm currently working on page 7 of my 9th issue. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 36-page issue, which will take forever. I trimmed as much as I could. I couldn't get it shorter than 36. Yeah, I know. I think I bought some of your stuff off of what, Comixology or something like that. Global Comics. I forget which. And I'm going to actually be changing some of this up too. Some of it doesn't make sense. Probably going to be changing the background environment when I come to part of the fight, because it's supposed to be inside the plant. And part of that makes sense, part of it doesn't. Well, I might make it still inside the plant, because I like a scene where the villain crashes. It was Indie Planet. I want to put stuff on Global Comics. because I like this where the villain ends up crashing through a skylight in this whatchamacallit nuclear plant. We're back at the nuclear power plant from number 2, but we're in a different area. It's just I gotta change how he got up in the air because it's really stupid how I did it before or how it was written. I'm not sure whether this was me or somebody else. I'll take the blame. I'm probably gonna take the credit for this script. And then this is a place in Wawa where I actually want to have the fight near. The second part of the fight. So I've got pictures of that as well somewhere. The last 3 pages I haven't put in my thumbnails yet. So those will be probably done on air or one of them anyways. And if not done on air, they're going to be recorded and made into videos. So there is a little bit of, if you can make anything out of it, for number 3. Did that one that you were trying to put up ever get registered? I might, tomorrow I've been was trying to do that read through stuff, and then do a review on comics. I gotta start doing that again. I got 2 weeks and then got all messed up. So I will erase the lines and all that for. Yes, I actually just went up last Friday. I think it's about time. Yeah. Okay, so that's not great, but it's better than what I had there. It was issue 7. Yeah, I've got a lot of comics to get through. So he is better than he was before because let's see. I'll show you. There's what we had before. I'll take out. There's what we had before for Canadian Shield. And now we have this. So that's better. It's not perfect. You know what, though? I do think I need, and I don't think I put it here, especially with the table there. Think what we'll do is we'll put his knees there as well, or part of his leg. Part of his foot there. Yeah, I think I got your first 6 issues in. I gotta read them. I got a bunch of digitals. I got a bunch of not physical stuff. Yeah, it's a good looking overhead shot. I like it so far, yeah. Okay, so we'll take out the old stuff. And of course, we'll erase the couch and all that. Well, also his colors will diminish that. So I'm gonna have to obviously go over Canadian Shield once more at least. Um, and then of course we got to put his costume on, which it for this it's just putting like a circle around his head to signify where the mask, where the bodysuit, if you will, ends, and then of course the belt. The body end suit ends for his like neckline, if you will. Because the mask would come down over that. Oh, that reminds me. We need to have the mask here on the. And again, that probably need to be gone over too. Sometimes I wonder if the first issue gives off the impression that it's a Super Kitty book because it gets very action oriented, even bloody at some points later on. Ah, so we're gonna have the gloves now. They weren't in the first thing there. We'll have the other one over here like this. This is just quick. And actually here you might get part of the cape. Okay, so there we have those, and then now this is going to be possibly harder than the other one. So let's. I might end up putting him off part of his body off screen here or off panel. Although he's got a lot of talking to do. I'm not sure whether you know what. Let's grab this. Let's grab all these. I think I'm gonna move things down a little bit. Maybe you might not be seeing as much as a couch as I originally planned, just because I want to be able to see him more. Yeah, I think I'm liking that better. Now let me get John Sims here so we have. This is his basic look here, or something I did for his basic look. Does Canadian Shield's massive size present difficulties when it comes to composing panels? I bet it's hard to fit him in every panel because he's. Yeah, it can for sure. You definitely have to think about it for sure. you know, like I had fit him in here fairly thing, but even just this with the overhead shot, um, it wasn't so much him because with being the overhead shot, he's not taking up quite as much space. He's taking up a fair amount of space, but now I've, you know, trying to put John Sims in here too on the other side of the coffee table, and it's, you know, I was looking at it, the angle and all that. It seemed a bit off for the way that he is. Like, I have to. Like, I'm doing the legs. Are the legs are really off here. This is off. It's a little bit better than what it was probably. And then he's gonna have his hand similar to Canadian Shield, thumb up, because he's explaining the effects of a meltdown, a nuclear meltdown. But as you can see here, I've got him sitting there. He's not. I probably don't got him tall enough here, sitting down. Or he seems almost as tall as John Sims, just down. He just doesn't seem quite right there, but and then you see him there. But yeah, and then you know there's a shot like this where you see him standing and everything's around him. It can be tricky at times, I guess, but for the most part, I didn't. You put him in first in the shot that you want and what you want to get of him in. Um, yeah, well, in these panels here, like the first panel, second, third, fourth, fifth. I like that last shot. It shows off Canadian shoots. Huge frame, yeah. But the thing is, I think with you put him in, you know you want him in, you put him in how you want him, and then you work everything around him because he is um well, he's the center of the shot, or if he is the center of the shot. And I think that's the way you work almost any of these is you get the character that you put the character in that you want and how you want them, and then you work everything around them. If that makes sense, I think it makes sense. Okay, so even this, I'm probably going to redo this one here still slightly, but he's even a little too close to the coffee table. Put him over here like that. And that's the great thing is I can move things around too. Like even if I wanted, I could take the. Okay, well I can do it. I'd for this one. I might even move the coffee table a little bit still. So I circle the coffee table. And we move the coffee table slightly. There we go. I think that I think all that looks a little bit better now in that first frame. Obviously, we need to do a lot more in that first frame, but right now, since that everything in that frame has been upgraded, we're gonna go on to the next frame, or next panel, I should say, maybe not frame, which is just basically a headshot of man like Cougar, Canadian Shield, thinking about what he's just been told, pondering it for a second. Um, he's like, "This sounds interesting. How could I learn more about this subject?" Of course, we have the mohawk here. Can add a few. I think I can add more details in this one right away because it is basically just his face. So now, of course, we're actually putting in some of the details, as you can see here, getting in. Again, this is probably going to have to be gone over too again, but it's already looking better. I'm going to actually add a separate layer to put his hand on. There we go. So we take that, put his eye stuff in here. And then, we're gonna start adding some stuff here because he could have shaven at here with what's his name, John Sims. But even there might be a couple days growth or whatever. Just a little bit of stubble. So again, there is a panel done. Well, actually, we still need to do some stuff to that panel to make it look better, besides coloring it, of course. But I think that'll allow us to take this layer 2 out. And we have this upgraded. If we just get this all upgraded today, each panel, it will be nice. Some panels are easier than others. And I think next week, of course, doing this, it'll be upgraded further. We might even be able to start on some of the coloring. I like that you're using that thick, bold line. It feels like a lot of creators are afraid to go too bold. I've heard people say it looks too cartoony, but I think bold lines give weight so much to life. This is probably true. I must admit, I'm just doing it sort of as I think the whatchamacallit comes. A bit, it's just being natural for me. So we're back over here. I want to see. I haven't put any details on to what John Sims is wearing here besides pants and like a shirt. I know he's probably always going to be in his dress type shirt because he is a detective. Unless he's somewhere that he's not, like because he can be called away at any given time, and he's not, one of these detectives that dresses down. He'd probably be OPP, um, and I don't think there'd be like a lot of ones from the states. Detectives, how they can seem to dress down. I might go a little bit smaller line weight for his buttons. Yeah, so when things initially started the conversation, they were both sitting down, and then for some reason, John Sim gets up. Uh, this is definitely going to be. This is, I did the Canadian Shield one sort of by myself. Well, not by myself, with John. I did that traditionally. This is going to be my first time doing a complete book via. Although I'm doing the whatchamacallit too, digitally, the Piper one. So what do I have his hand doing over here? Okay, so it looks like his thumb would be over here, and he's got the rest of his hand. So obviously this one needs a lot of work. We're getting a slightly better body posture here, though. Let's see. Yeah, man, I have so much trouble drawing digitally. It's very difficult for me. I can't get it to match my traditional work. Yeah, I seem to be slightly better for my digital than thing, but I haven't done a lot of traditional lately. It's just cheaper. So, we got to put the belt on him here too. I think for this one, I'm actually gonna end up when I go over this. I think I am gonna use slightly not quite as thick lines, but this is. I would definitely say this one is looking better already. And that's what the process is, making each thing just slightly better than the last. I think his head's a bit low, but maybe one day I can quit my job and become an artist full time. I'll learn how to save money on supplies with tax write offs and save and stuff like that because you're right, traditional is expensive. Well, the thing is, even if you're using it as a so-called business right now and you're putting stuff up different places, you can write off the boards and all that. You can save, you can, write them off as whatever business type thing, maybe a small business, or I think you could, anyways. I could be wrong because you might not be reporting that whatever income that is to the government quite yet. So you might not want to write off. I don't know. 3, 4, 6, 7 there. I doubt there's that many buttons, but okay. So there is the new one. I think that looks slightly better than what it was. So let's show off the old. So there was the old. Well, let's move John Sims. And here is the new. Of course, we still need to put background stuff in this. That's definitely what this one's lacking. The stuff that would be behind him, most likely. So he's standing right here, so you might see part of his chair and this desk, which this desk still needs a computer monitor and keyboard and mouse put on it as well. And now we need to put the gloves here on this as well. I'm gonna actually probably start creating folders for each of these. I don't know. But then again, I probably do inks and then, because eventually once these inks are all done, they'll be minimized. Let's come back to panel 1 for a second. I want to just take out there. That didn't need to be in there. Yeah. So it looks like for number 3 here, you guys are going to be coming on the journey with me to, or part of the journey to doing Canadian Shield 3. It's a slightly different journey than number 1. Okay, so let's see. Now we're gonna come and we're gonna use some straight line stuff. Okay, that's a little too thin. Are you working in Clip Studio? Yeah, this is Clip Studio, not Photoshop. I have Photoshop, but I like Clip Studio better. Okay, so I am gonna make. You know what? I'm gonna do this one first because I want it about the same. Yes. And I am actually using number two, uh, Clip Studio 2, the EX version. Yeah, I'm starting to hear a lot now. Many creators lean towards Clip Studio over Photoshop these days. I need to try it one day. Well, the thing is, you can get it for free for a demo to do it, and then 2 or 3 times a year they have a sale where you can get it like half off. I think you just missed one. Um, and I know it's probably best to go for the EX right away, but it's more expensive if you went the EX, the Pro, which I think if you get, it's $100 normally. Um, let's see. Oh, right now you can get it for $50. The Pro. Now the EX version, which has it so you can put all your comics in one thing, like this, your pages. You need the EX version. That I like the EX version because of that. But it's like over $200. It's $219, so 220 basically. And if you're going from Pro to EX, normally it's $170 or 169. But like I said, there's sales 2 or 3 times a year that you can get it for like half off. So, that in itself is fairly good. Master Panda, yeah, I remember back in the 2010s, all my artist friends switched from Photoshop to Tip Studio. Now they're all using Procreate on the iPad. I don't have an iPad, so I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, I don't have an iPad either. I'm not very fond of Apple products. So I probably wouldn't be getting an. I wouldn't probably get anything Apple myself. something like that. I gotta figure out. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. A friend convinced me to get a MacBook Pro back in 2010. I spent an arm and a leg. I want to go back to PC, but I've used Apple now, but I never owned an iPhone. Apple is just way too expensive. It's ridiculous. Yeah, maybe one day I'll switch back to PC for my computer stuff. Yeah. Um, but the only thing I'd go for Apple with is I got it back in the day and probably won't. I probably wouldn't. Mine got waterlogged. I'm not sure whether I can use it. I've every so often I pull it out. I got the whatchamacallit, the iPod, yeah. You know, for all the music. I got like the real big one. Well, not like big in storage, I mean, because I liked traveling with my music, but now I can do that with my phone. And I'd never get an Apple phone because you can't upgrade them for the chip or put a chip, like a micro SD chip to upgrade your storage space. So it's like, that's just ridiculous. Did I do that on this? No, I didn't. Good. Okay, so obviously I got to add some detail to this and get some details right for various things. So I think up next is we're putting in the Canadian Shield. Now we're gonna make him just slightly bigger because I don't think he's as big as I would like. Or he needs to be. Oh, oh yeah, I never. Oh yeah, I never actually bought an iPod, but my brother gave me his old one way back. I actually liked iPods a lot when they were still popular. I never did art without it at the time. Yeah, I liked it because, and at the time it was the best of them all. There we go. But now, your phone is as good as what an iPod used to be, so it's like, because I like having a lot of different stuff, I'm into a bunch of different styles and all that, so, but Christian versions. And I like having, like discographies on. I gotta figure out how to do this right. Let me get the arm in. Man, I used to have an iPod with an iPod dock with the speakers connected. I used to be on the porch of my parents' house back in the, I think you meant day, not say, painting with my music in the background. Yeah. Well, I liked it because like, I use the bus a lot. And when you're traveling by yourself, and sometimes you just it's nice to have the music put in the headphones and listen away. Okay, so what's going on here in panel 4? Uh, Thank you, Kenya. Panel 4. Thank you. Can you give me directions to this library? I think I will go there now. You can't. Why? The library is closed on Sundays. It's Sunday. Yeah, why? Okay, so yeah, okay, so I'm gonna have his thumb down here like this, finger out like this. The other one's curled in. There we go. Okay, so now I might have made him slightly too big. ah, his head goes off a bit. I don't think that's too much of a big thing. Okay, so now there we have Canadian Shield. We'll put his other hand. There, it's on yeah, I think I made him too big. There. Yeah, so there we go. There's okay, so it's definitely not perfect. But I think it is slightly better than what we had because here's what we had. Now here's what we have. So here's the new John Sims, and now we'll get the new John Sims in there. Yeah, yeah, it's nice starting to look cleaned up now. And like I said, most of this stuff is going to probably have a at least one more time through, probably two, um, which is probably going to be next week. um, I would like to get through these the next two and a third panel since we're doing John Sims. That's one third of the way done here. And then it's after it's getting all of them in, everything in properly, it's putting in some details. Well, the details might be part of that. So let's bring this John Sims over. While we work on this one. So so what I've tried to do here, I think, is have him like one leg. That's have one leg just slightly more forward than the other, so it will look half decent. Some ways I like this old stuff underneath, but at a certain point it does get a pain in the neck. There, I had to lighten it a little bit so I could figure out what I'm doing. Okay, so we gotta take out some of the extra lines that we put in here, just in trying to get his head a little bit decent. Of course, there's his eye, his mouth. That tongue's a little big. Tum to tum tum tums. Uh, I'll have his. This will be his thumb, and then we'll have his hand like that. Doo -doo. His collar. hours. Hey, no Metal today. Metal has yet to be on the whatchamacallits here. The high noons. And how are you, Sketch? I think you might have. I'm not even sure whether he was in the chat on Monday or yesterday. I think he has a bit of a big butt there. I guess that's still about the only thing I got to figure out is how to do the butts here. So how are you today, Sketch? We are working on Canadian Shield number 3 here. We're taking our older sketches and just upgrading them once. They obviously they are not the finished work. Like, take this panel that I was just working on. We'll take everything out, and I'll show you what it once was. It was there, there, and there. Let me put these up to what they were. So that's what it looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. Now, obviously, that's not nowhere near complete, but it's better than what it was. And we're hoping to get the next 2 panels done, the last 2 panels done in this next half hour. And next week, we will go and we will upgrade this even further to make it look even more like what it should. Doing a layer at a time, for lack of a better way of saying it. And right now, of course, you can see through everything because we're still keeping in all the lines. So we will know where everything is. We will take those out later, probably after we've colored. What issue is this, Rick? This is number 3. The one that I asked you about doing was number 4, which is the one after this. So I'm obviously trying to get a jump ahead. I really want to get hopping. So these are thumbnails, storyboards, however you want to call them. I started number 1 off air. I'm going to continue to do that one off air after I finish number 1 remastered, which should be finished sometime next week. Yes, I'm doing number 3. And I'm probably doing everything on number 3. Well, everything except for editing, you know. The credits page is going to be very one-sided for this issue. Rick Piper, everything. Yeah, I'm drawing inking, penciling, inking. I'm not sure whether you want to call this penciling, inking. And I will probably be coloring it. As you see, I've colored some of page 1 there. Uh, Here is a look at some of the thumbnails slash storyboards. Some of it's going to change. The one page that I really want to be doing is this one here. It's going to be exciting to do, I think. We have the villain going up to like a skylight and crashing through it. And then the Canadian Shield following suit, following through and looking for him. I think that's going to be cool panel to do, or page. And there's some reference stuff for number 3. Okay, so with that said, let's bring out let's get into panel 5 here. So we'll take away John Sims. Yeah, and you weren't here. Number 3 introduces a new character into the supporting cast of Canadian Shield, and that is Detective John Sims. Although you see him a lot in this one, in the following issues, he will. You probably won't. You may catch I may put him on panel or 2. It's somebody. Canadian Shield will be corresponding to via telephone. And eventually he will end up being where Canadian Shield is, which will be Hamilton, Ontario. Take away Canadian Shield. And of course, now we just got the coach. So what are you up to today, Sketch? And here is the reference for the couch that I'm working on. You know what? There might be a better shot of this couch. Yeah, there. Let's get this couch here. Control C. Okay, so let's make this a little bigger. Okay, oh, we should be on the right layer. Okay, so we're gonna bring this up just slightly. There we go. That's angles all wrong. There we go. Do, do, do. There we go. And here we go again. Rick, any idea when you're aiming for to get this current issue done, or are you going like it's done when it gets done? Well, a little bit of both. I would like for most, if not all of this and the flame to be done by December. The flame is being drawn and inked by Fly Flux Pro. Daniel something, I believe is his name. I think you all know. I'm not doxing him. His name's out there. Um, so I will be coloring that, probably parts of that on here. Um, because I would like to launch in my in Canadian Shield 2. I did have an ad for something here. Give me a sec. I think it's in here. Yeah, this will be easy enough. I did have this ad coming in 2023. These ones. I would have been like to have been further along on these projects. Um, you know, we do have 5 pages of Snowdrift penciled, inked, and colored. Flyflox is also doing the inks on Snowdrift #2. Dillard is doing the pencils. And of course, I'm doing pretty much everything. Unless I can get some extra money to pay different colors. Hey, Manuel, how are you? But at the moment, I'm coloring it. So, as you saw, well, you did massive through thing. So I want to launch this. Hopefully, I'll have most stuff done. Right now, I'm saving up money to pay Dillard because he's the most expensive person on this project to pay. Cross Comics Phase 3, as I'm calling it. I'm doing good on Friday afternoon. That is good that you're doing good this Friday afternoon. Dillard's penciling the Snowdrift 2 interiors, or did you? No, he penciled and inked the cover. I colored it, but yeah, he's doing penciling the interiors of Snowdrift 2. Yes, it is. Thank God it's Friday for the ready for the weekend. Yes. Uh oh, okay. And the Snowdrift 2 comic is coming out with the Canadian Shield 3 campaign. Yeah, along with the Flame #1. As I'm calling it, Cross Comics Phase 3 at the moment. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Captain Infinity's book. I've seen the work that Dillard's been doing on it. It looks really great. Yeah. Um, have you seen? You probably have, but just for Manuel because he probably hasn't. I will show off some of the. That's the cover. I thought I. So there's the cover for Snowdrift 2, which you've seen a lot of, probably. Here's page 1. Page 2, and I'm doing the coloring. I've done the coloring on all of this. So Dillard pencils, Flyfox Pro for inks, and me for colors. Page 3. Oh, who's the blonde character in the red? That her name is Sunset. She is the villain of the issue. There's page 4. And then page 5. I haven't put any of the lettering on, of course, yet, but I do like the way Dillard did this cover, with sunset underneath. Oh, this is looking phenomenal. Uh, Is the is the brown haired girl Snowdrift without her costume on? Yes. This is her. She's talking on the phone to Rick Arrow. You know what? I might have miscolored part of this. This could be her leg right here. I colored it as the sheet. I might have to recolor this part right here. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be her leg. Oops. Yes. Once known as Nancy Brown, she is now Christy North. In fact, today, my short was on Snowdrift. Of course, she's still talking on the phone to Rick Arrow. Yeah, I think that's it. Supposed to be. I didn't catch that. I didn't catch it at first either. I just caught it now looking at it. It's like, oh crap, I made a mistake. Oops. I don't think anybody else in the some other people might have, but it's an easy correction to do. I've just got to take that one color out, color it in. Take me 10 minutes at best. And of course, she gets off the phone. She goes down to watch TV, and she finds out about Sunset causing havoc. And it's like, it's time to go. It's time to get cold. It's time to give somebody a cold shoulder. It's time to give somebody a chill up their spine. Okay, so we might, with about 10 minutes to go, we might not actually get every panel done today, but okay. So I think I'm gonna be doing things on different layers here. That is the couch, of course, but we need to put in the table here, and the couch would be a big distraction. So obviously, we're gonna end up having to erase part of the couch later. Let's see. Do we got something that we can see? Okay, I like this here. Gives me the. Okay, so copy. Okay, I'm gonna take that couch away for now. Okay, so there we go. There's that. Do, 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 do. Okay, so this is. There we go. There we go. That gives the basic look. Of course, we got to do more to it later. And then, of course, we have out here like this. And out like that. We'll get these legs a little bit better later on. Of course, right now we're just trying to do. There we go. Something like that. It looks half decent. And yeah, we'd probably see. Do, 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 do. Something like that. I'm not sure what you'd see at that angle, but that looks decent, right, folks? And then, of course, let's see. We made the couch longer. So we want to move this about there. Okay, so I think we can keep the couch in here now. We've got the coffee table in there, so we might even have to make this stuff a little smaller and put it back a little bit. That's a good looking coffee table. Thanks. Now I got to do the end tables, which have the same basic look to them. Oh, that's a little bit too. Did that the wrong way. So because of getting distracted by other stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, it's bound to happen. There we go. And then okay, so we're gonna take these, and we are going to shrink them just a little. There we go. So we're not. Well, it's 2 o'clock now, so we don't got time to finish this week. But next week, obviously, we're gonna get done these two panels here. Um, and then we will start back at panel one, going over stuff. I think the couch is good. The coffee table needs to probably be adjusted slightly. I might use a straight line tool to do the coffee table because it is seeming a bit wonky. That's those edges are probably supposed to be a little bit more straighter than they actually are. And then, of course, the next thing for that is working on the Canadian Shield, getting him looking a little better. And then Mr. Sims. So, actually here, it's a bit wonky. There's what things are looking like at the moment when I open this up full. So you guys have a slightly better look to what it is. Very cool. Keep it up. Great work, Rick. Hurry up and get rich so you can pay Dillard. I want to see the rest of that Snowdrift issue. Yeah, I've got actually. I'm probably going to be putting like $400 in the next couple days in my PayPal. I've got like 200 or 300 saved up. Um, that's all in Canadian, of course. So, and I've got like 15 or 17 pages to pay him for, get him to do at this point. So, you know, it's a little bit of money. Rick, you're taking up interior decorating. It looks that way, doesn't it? For my comic books. So yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. Hopefully we'll see you all Monday. And Monday, not only do we have High Noon, which we'll be working on the Piper manga. Um, we will also at 8 o'clock on Monday night have a draw stream for anybody that wants to join. It's going to be me, my buddy Chris, maybe Mighty Geek Studios, and whoever else would like to join. We'll just get together, draw what. I don't got planned anything in particular for us to draw. We were on his draw stream over on Hero Shack doing something specific, but maybe this week we won't do anything specific. And then we'll decide on the show whether we want to just draw whatever or have a certain project to do each week. Like we'll do, like we were doing different indie characters and all that. So make sure you're by for both of those on Monday. And keep looking for the Cross Comic shorts. Page 23 remastered should be up tomorrow if you guys are into that. It's going to be like a 7-minute video. And hopefully next Saturday we'll have the last page remastered up. And then I just got to do a little bit of tweaking on colors for a couple pages, minor things. And hopefully Sketchbook will be done or close to done. The cover, and we'll be putting that up on Kickstarter. So catch y'all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day.